Hey everyone, and welcome to After Hours. Tonight I am graced with the presence of my grandmother tonight on set. I'm very excited that she is here to join us. She is showing us how we can be a little bit more sustainable this month in Sustainable September, and how to upcycle some clothing that you already have and turn it into some really cool new hip stuff. I've been seeing this trend on TikTok, so Grandma is very hip. She's with the times, and she's going to show us how we can do it as well. So Grandma, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I'm going to have fun. I enjoy doing this.
This is great. So Grandma, what are we going to be looking at today? I want to see, you have some examples here.
Yes.
So I think it'd be really cool to show what you're going to be doing.
So today I'm going to take a pair of jeans and a dress and turn it into a whole skirt. Now the rest of this dress I turned into a vest so that we have the capability of having a complete outfit that would be totally up to date.
I think that's really cool. What else? So you have another example here as well.
I do.
And I know this isn't what we're going to be talking about today, but I think it'd be really cool to show everyone what this is. So talk me through this amazing piece that you've done here as well.
Okay, this is from Grandpa's shirt.
Okay.
So I left the buttons and everything in. I took the sleeves of the shirt and put it on the sleeves. This was on the yoke of the shirt.
Yeah.
This is the bottom of the shirt, and then a couple of scraps, any color you want.
This is cool.
And this is what's left of the shirt, so you don't waste anything.
Ah, that's really cool. That's awesome. So talk us through how we're going to be creating this cool jean skirt. And let's just go overhead and let's get right into it.
Okay. So we take a pair of jeans, and this happens to be a little girl size 10.
Okay.
So on little girls, we go about 4 or 5 inches from the waist down to where we're going to cut. Okay. And I just take a ruler or make sure that I've got my 5 inches, and I cut across. Now at home, there's also the curve rulers that help. Okay, so right now I'm just going to cut straight across, and then I'll go from there.
Okay.
So this will be saved for a different project.
Okay.
And then I'll just go and fix this up.
Just clearing off some of those tiny little tidbits that get left
and making
over.
sure that I have the right size.
Okay.
You know, because we're cutting through some pockets too. So.
Got it.
And it's just important that you get that same curve all the way around so that it looks good when it's done.
Okay. Cool. So you can start with a regular straight line cut and then just give it a little natural arc to it.
Right.
Okay.
And some people will have an arc ruler.
Yeah.
You can use that too.
Okay.
But if you don't, just use a straight ruler and
go for it. Okay. Because it doesn't have to be an absolute perfect curve.
Oh,
it's just,
no.
You make it whatever you want it to be.
No, because when you go to put the fabric on, it's not going to show anyway.
Right.
Okay. So this is a dress that I don't use anymore.
Oh, so pretty.
Yeah. Well, you know, this dress that we just showed, I'm going to take all this top and use to make another dress.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get 2 items, but since this is a little girl's skirt, we're not going to want much more than right here.
Okay.
Because that way I don't have to put a hem in the skirt.
Look at you, being
Anyway,
smart.
that I can save some time. So we'll just take...
And this is all just kind of more or less a guesstimate. I love this.
Yes, because it all depends on A, the child you're doing it for,
Right.
B, the fabric you're using,
Right.
and what you want to get out of it.
Okay.
So since I want to get 2 outfits out of this, the size 10 little girls, they don't need more than about 20 inches, if even that.
Okay.
You know, you just by your child. So we'll cut this right across here about 5 inches up.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn it this way and line everything up.
Okay.
And of course you make it as straight as you can. It's a little bit.
This one's a little gathered, so you're kind of having to flatten it out a little bit as you go.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'll cut it a little higher just to get it cut.
Yeah.
And then it will straighten out and I can make it nice and straight then.
Gotcha. Give yourself a
So
little
don't-
extra.
Yeah, so don't concern yourself because just going to do that. That will end up being a child's dress.
Okay.
So see, now I can straighten this totally out. And that will allow me the opportunity. Get it all
It
folded
tends
here.
to get away from you.
Well, it's very silky fabric.
Yeah.
It's I don't even know what kind it is actually.
It's really nice stuff, though. I like the flowers on it.
Oh, I love the flowers on
There you
it.
go.
This was one of my favorite dresses there for a long time. So now, see, it's a mess. It's okay. So I just go here,
Yeah.
and that way I go up about an inch more. So just like that. So that will be the length of
Okay.
the skirt.
Okay.
Go straight across.
I love how you created a little scalloped edge at the first cut.
So now it's ready for me to take to the machine and gather it.
Okay, so let's do that. I want to see how that's done because this is a lot of fabric.
Yes.
This way, so I'm
Yes.
really interested to see how you're going to gather it to have it fit this tiny little piece.
Yeah, and this is a little bit more than a normal. You could take and cut this in half.
Yeah.
And gather it up
But still,
and still have a nice gather.
yeah.
I happen to like really gathery skirts.
Okay. That's okay.
I didn't quite realize there was this much,
That's okay.
but it's
I'm
easy
excited to see how
gather.
it comes together.
Okay. All right, so we bring it to the machine. Most machines have a dial with all the different numbers, and I turn it all the way up to 6 for my gathering. And I just take it, and I'm going to sew all around the edge of it just to be able to do the gathering. And I'll show you how we gather when we get all the way around it.
So we're just sewing one continuous
One
stitch around.
continu-
Do we have to have any specific seam allowance, or it's just all kind of, you just kind of go with it?
I usually, no, there's not.
Okay.
Because we have our shape here,
Yeah.
and right now I'm doing it at about 3/8, and when I go to sew it onto the jeans, I do a 5/8 inch seam.
Okay, cool. I'm loving this. This is all just kind of going with it. See, this is my type of project.
Or you get to use your imagination, get to have fun with it.
And they're each unique. That's what's really cool about the whole thing, too.
When I came in today and was showing my granddaughter, she goes, I remember those. You used to make those for me. So now I'm coming to the end of it, and I go right to there. I do not cross over.
Okay.
All right, and then I just lift this, my needle up, and pull it out because I want to leave myself some thread in order to be able to gather it.
Okay.
Okay, so then all I'm going to take and do is take my threads
Okay.
and gather them just like that. And with this fabric being so light, see how easy it gathers? Each piece of fabric will gather a little different. This one just has a lot of fabric that we're gathering.
Are you pulling the top and the bobbin, or just the
I'm
bobbin
pulling
thread?
just one only thread.
Oh, I'm like mind blown right now. This is really cool.
So I'll do this all the way to the other half, and then I'll come on this side of it, take the top of that, and do here, so that each side I have half.
So I just wanted to give them a little bit of a different representation. So when you say halfway, you're literally going to wherever that fabric is seamed on the other side.
Right.
So you're pulling that one thread to there and then the other one to the other direction.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And that also, when I line it up with the jeans, I have seams.
Makes sense.
All my seams will line up. The gathering will be the same all the way around.
Looks natural.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And you're just kind of helping the fabric down the way there
Yes.
as you're going. Okay.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
like-
as I pin it onto the jeans, I will make sure they're all even.
So this is why you did a larger stitch so the thread could pull easier. With you now. Look at
Right.
me. I can learn things too.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to
Okay.
gather it. And, you know, you go like this as you're going. See your stitches, they all look.
It looks just like the one that came on the dress.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you, you're professional. Never doubt, Grandma. Never.
So see, I have this.
Okay.
I'll do the other side.
Okay.
But see, I'm just kind of guessing. Here's an edge. Here's an edge. So I'm just kind of estimating it until we put it on.
Cool.
So that means that side is gathered and ready for me to flip it over and do the other side.
Awesome. The threads get away from you.
Yes, you got to find them. That's why I leave them long.
Yeah, so it's easier to find.
Yeah, because otherwise sometimes I'm like, okay, where did it go? Some people have the capability on their machines to pre-gather.
I've seen that setting on certain machines.
Yeah, I do not have it. I have an older machine.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I'd trade it for anything. And so I do not have pre-gathering.
This is the awesome thing, like not everyone has that feature on their machine, so showing them how easy it is just to do it this way as well. You're to see it, it's just, that's so nice of you to come up with these different techniques for that.
And any of these older skirts, dresses, shirts, anything you want, you could do this, make aprons.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I meant, some of us still wear aprons in our kitchen.
I feel like this is a good present for me to make for Mom for Christmas.
Oh,
I'll have
yeah.
to come over and we'll have to make an apron because she loves cooking and baking. Baking more than cooking, but
Yeah,
she loves being in the kitchen.
I use my apron. I just used it yesterday when I was baking bread.
And this would be cool. Also, you could add maybe an embroidery thing to it. There's so many different options just from finding stuff in the closet
Yes.
and just kind of changing it from there. I love this.
Yeah, on any of this stuff, we can embroider the pockets of the jeans. We could embroidery the white part of that other dress we did.
Right.
Yeah, so you could add lace. I meant there are so many different things you can do when you're upcycling and making new things out of, and you save yourself time because gathering takes time. And if you get a dress that's already gathered, you get it gathered faster.
Yeah.
And you already have a hem in it, and you already have a zipper in the pants, and you already have, so yeah, there's a lot.
And you're also saving money. You're also being a little bit more sustainable, repurposing things. It's just nice. And you don't have to go to the store.
No. Sometimes going to the store, I can't find what I'm looking for, and I come home and look through my stuff and think, I'll just make this.
Exactly.
That's how the jean skirt got started with the vest. I thought, I want this changed. And I just set it on the tables, wherever, your sewing table.
Okay.
I just make it just as nice and just like that.
Yeah, okay.
I take the jeans and I put the
Inside
right
out,
side,
right side out.
so that I have the right sides together.
Oh, and this is something that I don't think we touched on. Right now, you have this dress. Is this inside out or right side in?
This is the right side.
This is the right side out. Okay, cool.
Right. So now we got a pin.
Okay. And I've got some right here for you.
Okay. So I line my seams up.
Okay.
So just like it was coming from the store,
Okay.
it would all be lined up and looking pretty.
And then you're just going to pin those in and
I'm
just work
just
your way
going to pin
around.
them in and work my way all the way around.
So you're doing both of your seams first, and then you're filling in
Yes.
from there, right? Okay.
Correct. That way I know that I have exactly the same amount of fabric on both sides of the... So the first thing I do, I flatten that area out and line my seams up.
Okay.
Because when I pull it in, I can make all my gathers.
Right.
match.
To make it look a little bit more natural, but you don't want one seam 4 inches away
Right.
from another seam. That makes
Correct.
sense.
So by doing that, they're lined up.
Okay.
And now I just work my way around it here.
Okay.
So we can see we're here at the end,
Okay.
and it's off a little bit, so I'm just going to fix it.
And when you say off, you just mean like the
I like my
gathering
gathers
is
to be
So like you had a
as
little bit of like a
even.
flat spot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So anytime there's a flat area, I just go back and straighten out my gathering to make sure that I have the type gathering. I want all my gathering as equal as I can.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Okay, now all of our pins are on.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sew it onto with the machine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go back over here. So when I go to gather this on, you see we have the pockets down. So that way we're going to stitch, which will close the pocket off. I always start at a seam. I leave the blue jean part on the bottom. That way, as I'm sewing with the gathering, I am able, and I go to my 5/8 inch seam, I'm able to make sure these gathers are laying nice and flat. so that they all look good. I will turn my stitch control back down. Some people like 3, some people like 2.5. We have a lot of gathers on this. My first row, I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
So see, this way I'm able to make sure that all of the gathering is the same and equal. And I go a little slower on this. I want to make sure that I have everything just right. So take your time, don't worry about it.
There's no race here.
There's no race,
Yeah.
right. See, because this was a little flat, I wanted it to lay a little nicer, so I pulled the pin out. So there's not really a wrong here. It is a matter of just being patient with yourself on making the gathering. See, sometimes even your little foot gets hooked under a gathering. But whatever. All those things are going to happen, they're going to happen. So just be patient. This is the only part that is more tedious than anything else. Just
That's
go
normally
with the
how it
flow.
goes, yeah.
Yes, because you are going to have those. So I've gone around all the way once.
Okay.
I'm going to take all my pins out. And then there's 2 different ways you can finish this off.
Okay.
We'll make a second seam all the way around, just to make it good and clear. Or, at home, I have a serger, and I serge it.
Okay.
So you don't have to have a serger, but if you have one, this is a good place to use it at. And it does a beautiful job. You can see that on the other skirt that I brought in. You can actually show what it looks like serged.
So we got that nice bright neon green thread. We can see it. This is good. I like
That's
it.
because that's what was on the machine.
It works.
So I figured.
Oh, this is your Surgeon General. That
Yes.
sage. Yeah, you love that Surgeon General for your
Yes,
surgery.
and I didn't have any, I hadn't bought any red yet, so I just used what I had. So since we don't have the serger here, and I want to show you what it looks like finished, I do run another seam around it, just right there, and that just secures it. It just allows it to make sure that I've got a good seam holding. Look, little girls, even adult women, you know, we have a tendency to put things in our pockets, you know. As you can see, the second one goes faster.
All those gathers are a little fatter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does on the serger too. So we're going to look at this and see what it looks like done.
This is so cool.
There you go.
That's awesome. We'll go overhead and take a look at it too. This is so nifty. Look at the nice gather, the nice flow out, and then you even have the pockets all closed up so we can still use the pockets. I love this. So just a simple straight line stitch if you don't have a serger, but if not, you can serge it around as well. So cool. Well, Grandma, thank you so much for sharing some of your amazing talents with us and showing us how we can upcycle and live a little bit more sustainable this September. I always love it when you're here. I really appreciate it. She's got some talents that I just don't.
You got some good talent.
Well, thank you. We learn from each other. That's how we work off of each other. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight on After Hours. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll make sure Grandma gets them so she can get us some answers on those. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.